everyone, a very warm welcome to WS Cube Tech. So guys, today onwards we are going to start with a new module. This module is called as working with the CSV file. That means if you want to work with the CSV file, if you known about what a CSV file, good for you. If you're not known about it, then I'll be telling you what is CSV file in this session. So for that, first of all, let's understand what is a CSV file. So guys, in a CSV file, the full form of the CSV file over here is the comma separated values, as the word itself is saying that in this file the data is separated with the help of a commas over here. So in general, if I talk about any Excel file, your Excel file looks like this. For example, that we have rows and we have columns. So let's say we have columns over here. The first column is, let's say, ID, then we have name, and then we have age. In the ID we have, let's say, 01, the first row, and the name over here is, let's say, John, and the age over here is, let's say, 18. Similarly, we have another ID and we have 02, and then we have David, who is 20 years old. So this is how our normal file looks like, which has rows and columns. But if I talk about comma separated file, that means CSV file, in this the data looks like this. So we have ID, comma, name, comma, age, in which we have ID has 01, and it is separated by comma everywhere. So in each row the data is separated with the help of a comma. So here we have 01, and we have John here, whose age is, let's say, 18. Then here we have 02, comma, David, whose age is, let's say, 20. Okay, so this is how your CSV file looks like. Now, talking more about CSV file, each record consists of one or more fields. So we can have one field or more field which is separated by comma over here. And as the name itself is saying, so it says that the use of the comma as a field separator is a source of the name of this file format. So it's basically a format of a file. For working with CSV files in Python, there is an inbuilt module called as CSV. So we will be using this module called as CSV. Also, we will be seeing a use of pandas as well. So we'll be seeing a small use of pandas, but majorly we will be working with the CSV module over here. We do not have to import it. It is an inbuilt module over here. So we will be simply using it. And for pandas, we have to install it. So we'll be seeing that in our next session, where we will be also discussing that how we can read a file. So if you want to read a CSV file and bring it to Python, bring its data to Python in the output screen, then how you can do that, we'll be looking at that in our next session. So stay connected, guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to WS Cube Tech. So guys, in our previous session, we have discussed that what is working with CSV file, what is a CSV file. In our today's session, what we will be doing, we will be reading the CSV file. Now, how to read a CSV file in Python is very easy. We have an inbuilt module called as CSV. We will be using that module. With the help of that module also, there are two methods by which we can read it. One is dot reader and the other one is dictionary reader. So we will be using both the methods to read the CSV file. Also, we will be seeing how with the help of the pandas we can read a CSV file. So for pandas, we need to import a module. That means we need to install a module. So with the help of command prompt, we will be installing pandas, and we can just work on the CSV file with the help of that as well. So let's have a look on how it can be done. So as I told you that first of all, we will be working with the CSV file. That means CSV module. So for that, we just need to import CSV from here. So let's import CSV. So after this, what we need to do, once we have imported CSV, we need to open the file in the reading format. So for that, I'll be writing f is equals to open. What do we need to open over here? We need to open our CSV file. Now my CSV file is not at the same location where my Python programs are. So in that case, I need to provide it with the full location as well. So to obtain the full location, I'll just go here and I'll just go for the properties of this file. And this is my CSV file basically. On this file, we will be working. And over here, the location is this. So I just need to copy it from here and let me just paste it here. Now what I need to do is I need to convert all these backward slashes into the forward slashes. So I'll be just converting them into the forward slashes here. And after converting them to the forward slashes, we'll be giving the name of our file, that is accesscode.csv, and we need to open them in the reading mode. That's why I'll be writing R, or you can also write mode is equals to R. Once we are done with this, we need to create a variable over here, because we have opened the file in the reading mode, but now we need to use csv.reader over here, because we need to read the CSV file here, right? So for that, I'm creating a variable CSV file is equals to, we'll be writing csv.reader, and here I'll be passing f, that is the file that we have read right now. And after this, we need to print. No, we do not have to print, but we need to use the for loop over here to obtain all the lines. For that, I'll be using for lines in CSV file. I'll be writing CSV file colon print lines. So we'll be printing the lines, and as soon as we'll run it, the output over here would look like this, that we have identifier, first name, last name. You can see over here we are obtaining the data in the format of a list here. So we have identifier, first name and last name. We have the identifier as 901242. The name is Rachel and the last name is Booker here. This is how it works. So this is one of the methods. Now our second method would be if you want to read it in the format of a dictionary. For that, what you can do, instead of writing reader, you can write dictionary reader. So here I'll be writing dictionary reader, and doing this, I'm not doing anything at all. I'm just changing this reader to dictionary reader, and it will give you the output in the format of a dictionary. And as soon as I'll run it, the identifier and first name and last name will become the keys, and the values will be 901242. That means the first line over here will become the keys, and the values will be all the rest of the rows. So here everywhere the keys are the same, but the rows are changing here. So this is how a dictionary reader works. Now moving ahead and talking about our second method, that is with the help of the pandas. For pandas, what we need to do, we need to install pandas. For that, I'll be going to our command prompt, and you will be writing pip install pandas. Once we for me, I have already installed it, so for me it would show requirement already satisfied, but in your case it will get downloaded. Once it gets downloaded, what we need to do is very simple, that we can simply go put this inside the comments. Let's shift it a bit downwards, and I'll import pandas here. So I'll write import pandas. Once we have imported pandas, I need to create a variable over here, so I'll be calling it as CSV file again. CSV file is equals to pandas dot read CSV, and simply I'll pass the file name over here. So we need to again give the location. So for the location, I'll just come back here, or what we can do is very simple, that we can get the location from here, and I'll just copy the location along with the file name and print it here or paste it here. And lastly, I just need to print CSV file, and let's run and see what output we'll get here. So as soon as I'll run it, the output would still look like the same. So here we have an index in the starting, that is 01234. Then we have identifier as 901242. Then first name as Rachel and last name as Booker here. So this is how we are obtaining the values with the help of our pandas. So guys, these were our three methods by which we have read the CSV file. Our first method was using the reader, CSV.reader. Our second method was using the CSV.dictionary reader, which reads the file in the format of a dictionary. And lastly, we have used pandas to read the file. And I hope you guys have no doubts in the question. In our next session, we will be discussing about how we can write data inside the CSV file. So right now, what we know is that we have a CSV file. From our CSV file, we have imported the data in our Python. But if I want to write any data and I have to transfer it to a CSV file, how it can be done, we'll be seeing that in our next session. So stay connected, guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to WS Cube Tech. So guys, in the previous session, we have covered how to read CSV file. For example, if we have a CSV data, if we have a file, if we have a CSV file. And if you want to read that data in our Python, how we can do that, we have learned that in our previous session by three methods. Our first method was .reader, the second method over here was dictionary reader, and our third method was using the pandas library. So in our today's session, we will be discussing about how we can write data in the CSV file. So far we have covered how to read the data from CSV. Now we will be learning with the help of Python how we can write this data inside a CSV file. For that, let's have a look on what all methods we have. So we will be doing this with the help of our CSV module only. There are two methods over here, just like how we have reader and dictionary reader. Similarly, we have writer and dictionary writer. With the help of these two methods, we will be obtaining it. So let's have a look on how it can be done. First of all, to do this, we will be importing our library. So I'll be writing import CSV. Once we have imported CSV, we need to create a list over here. List of fields and the list of rows. The field will contain all our columns over here. So I'll be writing fields. Fields is equals to, let's say I'm talking about a data of a company. So a company has, let's say, employee data. So employee ID, and let's say it has the name of the employee, and the other data is, let's say, the age, and lastly which branch that person belongs to. So we'll be writing branch here. After this, we'll be writing rows. In the rows, we'll be giving all the other data. So I'm creating a nested list over here, which will contain the employee ID, the name and the age, and lastly the branch. So first of all, we have the employee ID. So we have 001. Then we have the name, so I'll be giving John here, and then we have the age. So let's say the age is 32, and that person is a manager. Okay. Nextly, I'll just create another list over here. So I'll just give a comma and create another list where the employee ID is 002. The name is, let's say, David. The age is 24, and that person is from social media. Similarly, I'll be creating another one. Let's say over here we have 003 and it should be inside the quotation. So we have 003 and the name of the person is, let's say, Lisa. She is 25. So we can write it like this, or we can write it in a format of integer as well, and she belongs to, let's say, again, manager. She is the manager. Lastly, we'll have another list and we have 004 where we have Peter, who is 27 and he is a designer. Okay, once we have written down this data, what I need to do over here is I need to open a file over here. Now it can be a pre-created file, or you can create over here as well, just like how we create using the file operation. So I'll be writing f is equals to open. Now what file I need to open? So let's say I'm creating it for employees, right? So I'll be writing employee data.csv. So we're creating a CSV file over here. Now we can define the mode also. So mode is, let's say, the writing mode. So we need to pass it inside the double quotations, and we have opened a file in a writing mode whose name is employee data.csv. Now what do I need to do? I need to create a CSV writer over here which will write this data. So for writing that, I'll be creating a variable. Let's call it CSV underscore writer. Inside this, I'll be passing CSV dot writer, and in this we'll be passing our f, that means the file that we have opened in the writing mode. Once we have done this, we'll be writing CSV writer dot write row. Write row means, first of all, we are defining the field over here. So field is this one. So I'll be passing fields inside it. After this, we'll be writing CSV dot writer, not writer but underscore writer dot write rows, because now we are defining the rows that will come inside it. We will be writing rows over here. When we are passing a single row, we'll be writing the right row, which will be our fields. That will be our first row over here, and then we will be having the other rows, that is our rows over here. So I'll be passing rows. As soon as I'll run it here, nothing would happen here, but if I'll go where my programs are, so because we have not given any location, that at what location this file should be, it will automatically get created wherever our programs are. Our let's say the write CSV file program over here is, so you can see over here a new file has been created. As soon as I'll double click it, I will get the data that we have employee, name, age and branch. We have on number 1 we have John, then we whose age is 32, who is a manager. Second we have David, who is 24, again he is from social media. Then we have employee ID 3, name is Lisa, age is 25, and again she belongs to the branch of manager. Then we have 4, on 4 we have Peter, we have age as 27 and he is a designer. Okay. So this is how we have obtained the data. That means we can write the data in Python and we can obtain it in our CSV file. This was our method number 1, where we have used the list over here. Now similarly, if you want to use dictionaries here, what you can do, instead of writing this, we can provide a dictionary over here. So we can write in this way, that we have employee ID, right? So our first one is, key over here would be employee ID, and the employee ID would be 001, comma. Then next key over here would be name. So I'll be passing name. The name of the person would be John. Next thing I'll be passing would be the age. The age of the person is, let's say, 27. And lastly, the branch. And the branch is, let's say, manager. Okay, this is my first data. I'll just copy this data so that I do not have to make much more changes. And I'll just copy it from here. Lastly, paste it here. Next one is, let's say, 002. On 002, we have David, whose age is, let's say, 29. And who is from social media. Again, I'll just paste this data and I'll go with 003. On 003, let's say we have Lisa, whose age is 22 and her branch is, let's say, designer. Okay. So this is our second data, where we have fields as list and rows. Inside the rows we have a list, but inside the list we have elements of dictionary, where we have provided employee ID as the key and their values as the values over here. Similarly, again the next key is our name and its value, then the next key is age and its value, and lastly the branch and its value over here. Now what changes we need to make over here is very simple. Instead of writing CSV.writer, we will be writing CSV.dictionaryWriter, because we are writing it in the format of a dictionary. And we'll be passing our f over here. F is the file mode in which we have opened it. So I'll be writing another file. So this will be our file 1. Let's call it file 1. And here I'll be passing the field names. The field names would be equal to our fields, and I'll just remove this line. Instead, what I'll write, I'll be writing CSV underscore writer dot write header. So first of all, we will be writing the header, and then we will be writing the other rows, which is stored in the format of a dictionary. So what we have done, what changes we have made here, basically, that previously we had nested list over here. Now we have a list. Inside the list we have elements of dictionary. Here we have written, instead of CSV.writer, we have written CSV.dictionaryWriter. where we have passed the name of the file, plus we have also given the field names is equals to our fields, that means the list which had fields. After that we have written the header, and lastly we have written down the rows. Now let's run and see what would happen. So as soon as I'll run, nothing will happen over here, but again if I'll go back in CSV Python, you can see a new file has been created whose name is employee data 1. Let's open it. So as soon as I'll open it, it will give me employee name, age and branch, which has 1, 2, 3 data, as we have added only 3 data over here, which has John, David, Lisa, whose age is 27, 29, 32, and manager, social media and designer. So this is how we have obtained the data as well, and you can see over here on the top that we have the format as .csv. So I hope guys that it is clear how we have used csv.writer and csv.dictionary writer. Both the methods over here are clear to you, and here I'm ending this module as well, where we have covered 2 major topics. That means how we can read the CSV file, and in this session we have covered how to write in a CSV file. And I hope you guys have no doubts in the questions. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.